We recorded our 3v3 games with a VO camera last weekend in the Sporting Legends 3v3 tournament. We have parents and coaches who saw the soccer camera recording and they asked us how it worked. So we made this video to show you what you can do after you record a game with the VO camera in order to share it with your players and your parents. If you want more examples on how you can use the camera in your team or school or club, you can check out our parent and coaches field guide to VO at easysoccervideo.com. Click on the Teams tab, which then takes you goes to Teams, and then you come over here and click Add New Team. So you type in the team name, you pick your club, gender. I'm going to add myself as a coach and administrator, and then I say Create Team. Alright, so I have the team, and then as you can see right now there's no recordings because I haven't added any, and there's no members. Well, I will be a member. So then you can add a new member here. So you say first player 1. This would be obviously the first and last name. I'm not going to do it here, it's just recording it, and then maybe another email. So you would pick them as a player, and then as a viewer, or an editor, depending on what kind of permissions you want them to have. And then you click Send Invitation. So now they'll get an email that that invites them to join the teams. You got an email. You were invited to join VO. So here it tells them that they were invited, and it says please click here to join so they can see their videos. So then what they'll do is they'll click this link, join VO, and it's going to take them to a page to set their password. So then they're taken to the screen. They can change their name if they want. They can even change their email. If all this is the same, they just leave it alone. Set their password. They have to agree to the terms and conditions, and then they click Join. So now they are in the team. If they go to the team, they'll see that there's 2 members. The admin and then the player that was just added. There are no recordings yet because we have not assigned any recordings to that team. So here's where we left the coach or the team admin. They invited the team member. It was sent. Now we'll go back. Now they can go back to the team page. So there's a new member. The recordings are still going to be empty. So at this point we'll go back to the main screen and see the list of recordings. And we'll choose a recording of a game that we made at the tournament. So we'll go into the game, and once we are on the game, we will edit the game. And you can change the title if you want. So the team that we're going to look for is the new team that we've just created called Burmese Army. And then you click Save. So at that point, now when the player comes into their dashboard, they will see, here I'll go ahead and add one more. And so you kind of get an idea. We'll edit it. Private, we'll assign again to Burmese Army. It's just the name of our Pickup 33 team. We can change the date here. And then save. So now both of those games are assigned to that team. So now this game is assigned to the team. Again, this is the coach's view or the manager's view. So now what we can do is we'll switch back over to the view from the team member, and we'll see what they see. So here's the view of the team member that I just invited, and when they log into their main screen, now they will see those two recordings that showed up. Now I'll go ahead and as admin, and I will add the rest of the games into that team, and then they will all show up here. So now that I've added the games in, This again is the player view, so the player can come in and see all the games. But one thing to note is when they come in to see the game, there's no highlights, and they don't have the option to create highlights because I added them just as a viewer when I invited them. So I'll show you, if you want the player to be able to create highlights, or whoever the user is, I'll show you how to do that. So this is back to the view of the coach or the team manager, whoever the admin is. So you can see that player is listed, and what you can do if you want to change their ability, you click these three dots here, you click change roles, and at that point you can update them to be an editor and update their permissions. And now we'll switch back to the player view, and you can see what that changes for them. So now that we've changed that, let's go back into the game we were looking at before. And what you can do is you can say add highlight. Now that that person has an editor profile permission, they can click add highlight, and they can decide where the highlight will start. So let's see right here, and then we can shrink the timeline down. It's about a 1 minute window. And so this is actually a goal here. So we can say this is a goal, and you can actually pick the player, and you can say shots or whatever, comment if you want to make a comment, and it will capture that point in time. So you click save, and now that the highlight is created for that player, if you go back to the main screen for that player, when you look at mentions, you will see, there you go, there's the clip. Since they were tagged, they can see here that video clip. One other nice feature that's available, if a player wants to, they can go to their profile settings, and then they can type in a little bio. Soccer players, or they can put whatever they want. They can select their birthday, where they're from, which footed they are, maybe they're both, hopefully, whatever jersey number they like. Everyone seems to like 10, what they like to play. Let's see, central mid. And they can choose a username, so they can say, and then you can decide whether you want to turn it public or not. I'll turn it off since this is just a demo. Create, and then what happens there is now they have this website they can share that will also share their highlights. You can see has a little information about them, and then they can control which highlights show up here, so that if you go back to your mentions as a player, any place that you were in a clip, at this point you can come here and you can say add to my showcase. Now when they go to the showcase, or if it's public, whoever is out there, those clips will visit the profile page, and it'll have not just their bio information, but it will also have any of the soccer clips that they wish to share. Here's another view we created of a profile for a second player, and we went ahead and we added more clips in to their showcase. So what you see here again, it shows their bio and some of their player information, and then it lists out all of their clips. So for example, when you come to the page, it will play their highlights, and then once one is finished, then it kind of loops, and then it will play autoplay the next highlights. So some of these are maybe just some. It depends on what the clips are. Some of them might be footwork, some of them might be defense, some of them might be goals. Which basically whatever it is that the the player or the coach has highlighted that they thought that the player did well. Now, this can also be used definitely as a learning tool, and so there may be actually a lot of clips of maybe some mistakes, things they didn't do well, things they could do better. But those aren't shown here in the showcase. Those are available to the player in their homepage, but only the ones that the player adds to the showcase are going to be shared and seen by everyone. We hope this team case study on how to use your VIO camera was helpful. And if you'd like more tips, you can check us out on easysoccervideo.com.